Hey y'all, today we're going to be talking all things new student orientation, whether you are coming in as a first-time student or as a transfer student. This video is for you, or if you're a support person of someone who is going to be going into school, this is going to be great info for you. This is based on my experiences working at multiple institutions across the country, as well as some tips and tricks I picked up from friends and colleagues along the way. We're going to break this down into a few sections in this video. First is what to expect, so kind of like the schedule, things that could be involved, what to bring, so what you should bring day of, things to check out, things you should check out at the college campus, why you're there for orientation. We're going to talk about accessibility, and then what to do after the fact once new student orientation is over. So let's go ahead and jump on in the things to expect. So throughout all these tips, I'm mainly focusing on in-person new student orientation versus online orientation. There's many things that are similar in that, but they are a very different experience being on campus versus being online. So what to expect, with new student orientation. Most new student orientations are going to be a full day or almost full day affair, where they're going to start pretty early in the morning, 8 or 9, and go throughout the day until probably around 3, 4, or 5, depending on the institution. Now, many schools are going to start the day with registration, so you checking in, potentially name tags, getting some pamphlets and other helpful information, potentially getting a paper copy of the schedule, or they might provide you a QR code to do a digital version of the schedule for the day. Many colleges will also host like a light continental breakfast, so think like fruit, maybe some bagels, maybe some toast, maybe some muffins, that kind of thing. Like not a hearty breakfast, but just something to snack on while you're waiting. Typically, this will most likely be in like one of their big rooms, like their auditorium rooms or their banquet rooms, where they're able to have tables set up and allow people to kind of chat, mingle a little bit, snacky snack before the actual event begins. Now, from my experience, most are going to start with like a big welcome speech to do, and then may also have, depending on the school and availability, a welcome from either like the college president or some other high key players from the university, whether that is professional staff or even student leadership, welcoming you to campus for the day. Now, many schools have designed their new student orientation to be broken up into like workshops throughout the day, where you as the individual get choices of what you go to. Some of these workshops could include financial aid. They could include accessibility services, who's going to work with students who have learning disabilities or need special physical accommodations. There also could be sessions from university housing, so the dorms on campus. There can be sessions on how to get involved, so clubs, intramural sports. There can be sessions on first year experiences, so things that are really tailored to first year transfer students or first year freshman students. There can be academic advising coming in, maybe the career center talking about how to get jobs. And often there's also tours offered for special areas on campus, so like the rec where students are working out, tutoring center, housing. Some major departments host their own tours as well, and larger campus tours. So it's kind of a build your own path through some of this from many campuses I've seen, where once you have the welcome for the day, the families and students are able to go to 1 to 2 sessions on their own of their choice, and then come back for academic advising sessions. Now, what this means is most schools are going to have new students sign up for classes at orientation. So typically they'll have academic advising or student reps talk to the students first. Sometimes it's broken up by major, sometimes it's not, or for those who are undeclared, you're kind of in a general group, and they'll talk to you through requirements and how to actually sign up. Now, typically, they're actually going to take you to a computer lab on campus to go sign up for your classes. Now, that is wild. It feels so quick, and sometimes you're not going to get into the things you want right away. You could get waitlisted for classes. There could be things not available that you really wanted to take, but like, it's okay. I want you to remember with signing up for classes that things can change. Typically, students are signing up for classes during orientation, and then typically, depending on the school's calendar, in August or September, they open up enrollment again, where you're able to trade classes, get into other classes, and make adjustments to your schedule. So it's not the end of the world if you don't get what you want right away. Many campuses will also host a light lunch that will mostly play to different dietary needs. Often this is going to have salad, it might be burgers and fries. It's going to be very easy, convenient things of sandwiches, things that campus can easily host to a large group of people. Now, many colleges have started taking advantage of during this lunchtime, which is typically 45 minutes to an hour, also having a resource fair. So where all these different departments across campus, all these different student services have booths that you all can go and talk to. So for example, financial aid will probably be there, career services, ITSS, so technology. They will have like the academic writing center, the tutoring center. They may have certain student groups or affinity centers. So it might be something like a cross-cultural leadership center, or maybe it's the Black Student Union having a table there. Just depends on the institution and what they offer. It also depends on those groups if they have staff who can go sit at those tables during that time. But it's often an open time where you can go visit those different tables, get information, get pamphlets, get all the things. So I really recommend for lunch, eat kind of quickly, and then go check out all those resources and tables. At least make sure you do a lap to see everything that is there, because there's so many resources on a college campus, and there's so many resources that students don't take advantage of that they've already paid for in their tuition fees just because they don't know about them. So go and look and see what is there. Now, many orientations will also put into their scheduled times for tours. This could be a campus tour. It could be a tour specifically of certain dorms, or maybe of their recreation center or their student union, or areas on campus that they really want to highlight for students. So make sure if you have the option between those, go to ones that you really feel you need to go. If you are able to just walk around campus on your own and don't need like a specific campus tour, go to some of those other ones where you're able to get inside buildings and see the resources, because sometimes you can't do that without a guide during the summer, versus you can walk around campus on your own afterwards and get a kind of tour, pull up the campus map and look at it that way. Now, I always recommend check out the campus bookstore. No, it's going to be overpriced. Most campus bookstores aren't even bookstores anymore, because most students either use online books or rent books, but some campus bookstores do have physical books in there for classes that students have signed up for. Also, all of the overpriced merch that you can get. If you're thinking you want to get a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, know that t-shirts typically start at like $25, $30. Sweatshirts are typically in the $50 plus range. Depends on the campus, but a lot of those bookstores are very pricey. I also recommend thinking about and researching prior how your campus does student ID cards. Now, on some campuses, they're going to just have you submit a photo that they'll put onto your campus ID card. At other schools, they want you to actually go into a designated place, maybe it's the technology service area or somewhere else, and take your photo to get your ID card. Now, this is something I did not research at all going to my first year orientation back in 2007. And I showed up to orientation in sweats, a white t-shirt, a zip-up Hollister sweatshirt, and a bun because my hair was wet. I had no concept I was taking a picture that was going to be on my student ID card, that you need your ID card on campus. And I did 5 years. So I had that ID with that picture of me with wet hair in sweat for 5 years. So something to think about. Do a little research ahead of time. See if you're going to be taking your picture or not that day. Now let's chat through what to bring. Okay, first, what to wear. Wear comfy clothes that you are able to easily move in, but also can adapt to different temperatures. So I always recommend wearing shoes you're comfortable to walk around in, because you're going to want to see things. You're going to be moving room from room. You might be doing campus tours or tours of specific buildings, and you need to have comfy shoes that work for that. Also think about the temperature. For many schools, it's going to be hot in the summer. And then the AC is ridiculously cold inside and you're freezing. So maybe bring a light sweater to pop on if you're someone like me who gets cold when you're in frigid AC temperatures and then it's 110 degrees outside. Dress for the weather of how you're going to be successful in those situations so that you're comfortable. I also always recommend bringing like a notepad and a pen. Like, take notes. So much is going to be thrown at you that day through the different workshops, through the different sessions. You want to have somewhere where you can easily take notes. And yes, you could take notes on your phone. You could bring an iPad, but like a notebook and pen is worth it. Just bring it. Write the notes down. I also recommend bringing a water bottle, something that you can refill easily. Most campuses are going to have water bottle refill stations around. That'll be easy for you to fill up. And then also bring the big purse or a tote bag, because you are going to get so many pieces of paper. You're going to get pamphlets. You're going to get papers with important dates. You're going to get advertisements for clubs or different resources. You need a place to put all that. And I've seen so many times where students go to orientation and they do not bring a notebook, a folder, a bag, nothing to like put paper in and take notes on. Like, you need something to put all that stuff in. So make sure you have something where you're able to put all that. If you have a pad folio, like that's a great 2-in-1. You can put the papers in there and take notes on it and then use it for future interviews. Set yourself up for success of what you wear and what you bring during that day. So things to make sure you check out during orientation. If given the opportunity, these are the things I recommend that you go to these sessions, you go check out or check out afterwards if you're able to. First will always be like your major department building, and if you're able to do a tour of the space and meet faculty or staff, always jump at that. It's great to know those faces and those names. It's great to see the building where you're going to have your major classes in. Now, yes, you're going to have classes all over campus. Like, you have to do GE classes. I have my own qualms about that, but you're going to be taking classes all over campus. But when you are in your major focus classes, you want to know where they are. You want to be familiar with that space. So if they offer tours, allow you to walk through that, or meet and greet faculty or staff, I recommend doing that. I always recommend talking to university housing if you're going to be living in the dorms. It's great just to get any important information from them, anything that they have printouts or QR codes for things. You always want to make sure you know the important dates for deadlines for payments, for movements, for meal plans, for move-in, or if there's anything extra you need to do or requirements, as well as knowing their rules so you don't accidentally bring things to move in that you're not supposed to. Other areas, financial aid. Financial aid is great. During that day, they are more generalized in their information, and they may, if you have specific questions, ask you to set up a virtual meeting or phone call to get more details so they can really pull up your account. But they can give you some good details about general payments, about general types of aid. Oftentimes, schools will also have like student financial services there who can give you an actual schedule of when all like the tuition and housing payment deadlines are. So that can be really helpful to talk to them. I also recommend talking to the Career Center if they are available. They are who will help connect students to opportunities for jobs on campus and off campus. And it is statistically harder as an incoming student to get a job on campus because you're not as familiar with it. You don't know areas and departments. So getting some good information from them ahead of time is a great plan. 3 other areas I would look at the writing center or tutoring center if they're combined, and see when signups for those are, because you never know, you may need tutoring, and most institutions are having those tutoring sessions for free. It just is kind of like a hustle to sign up on time in the deadline and get a spot. So check out the tutoring center. Check out the rec or wherever recreation center they have. A lot of times during the beginning of school, there's going to be events hosted at the pool, at some of the workout areas. You know, if you're into working out or not, it's good to just see the space because you are paying for it in your tuition and fees. And then I also would check out where ITSS is. So IT services, because they do a lot. It's not just about servicing like the campus computers. Sometimes they can help you troubleshoot different things on your own laptop. Sometimes they can help you troubleshoot with your iPad or point you in the right direction to services that can help you. Sometimes they can help you download free software that's available because you are a student. So knowing where that is a good idea. And depending on the school, either ITSS or somewhere else on campus is also good to do laptop loaners usually. So if that's something you need where you need to check out a laptop for the semester or quarter, see what that space is and go check it out early. And a big thing for me is, even if you don't do guided tours, walk around. Even if you take the full campus tour and you take the housing tour and you see the recreation center, walk around afterwards. At the end of the day, do another little lap. Make sure you're familiar with the space, or at least can be like, that's the library. Okay, my major building's that way. dorms are on that side of campus. Get a lay of the land. It will help you so much when you come at the beginning of the school year if you have a good mental picture of the layout ahead of time. Now let's talk about accessibility. If you have any accessibility needs for orientation, please make sure to reach out ahead of time. Typically on the orientation website, they're going to have an email of who you can email, whether that is you need any assistance day of, you need visual aids, if you need a hearing device that will help, if you need some note taking, if you need accessibility to be able to go around campus and take those tours, or you want to confirm access to different spaces, go ahead and give them an email ahead of time to get that stuff handled and make sure that they're able to best assist you. And I do recommend day of, just check in with whoever you're checking in with, confirm any of those items if they are providing any assistance to you. Now, if coming in person is not possible, whether for something going on in life, traveling, accessibility, online orientation is often an option on most campuses. You're not going to get the same experience as being there, but obviously going to orientation, whether it's online or in person, is better than not going. You will miss out on signing up for classes and tons of information if you don't go. For many schools, if you do not attend in-person or online orientation, you can't sign up for classes until it's open enrollment in August or September, literally usually about 2 weeks before school starts. And you do not want to wait until then. Like, open enrollment is great for trying to get into a class you couldn't get in prior to, getting off the wait list, switching classes around. It's not great for building your entire schedule because there's so few seats in classes open. Now, the last section for us to talk through is what to do after orientation. After day of, like I said earlier, walk around, get familiar with the space, and then do a good debrief. Maybe it's going to get lunch or dinner, chilling out, debriefing the day. How are you feeling? What things did you really like? What things are you unsure of? Was there anything that was a red flag to you that you're like, oh, we should probably follow up on that? You'll get those initial feelings out day of. Now with that, the next day or next few days, go through all the materials you got. You're going to get so many papers or papers with QR codes. Go through all the things and make a to-do list of everything you need to do before dorm move-in, before open enrollment for classes, before class actually starts the first day of school. If there's clubs you want to really get involved with, check out their websites. Do all that ahead of time and do it quickly after orientation, because the longer you put it off, the less likely you're going to do it. And some deadlines might escape you, they might pass, or you might not remember about something until right before school starts, and that just adds unnecessary stress. So a day or two after orientation, go through all those pamphlets, make your task list, and set yourself up for success. Alrighty, y'all, so that was my full overview of new student orientation for first-year students and transfer students. Now, depending on the school, it's going to look different everywhere. There's going to be different sessions offered. There might be workshops that you have choices to go to. There might be just a set schedule where it's like, this is what everyone's going to. Most schools are going to sign up for classes, so you can also glance the catalog online prior to going if you choose to. If not, you will get help while you're there. Don't worry. Orientation is just great. No matter what, please attend orientation. In person would be my preference if you can't do the online version. Get all that information, get all those resources, figure out the things you need to do, because you can set yourself up for success by going to this event, getting to know the resources, knowing what there is to help you, meeting some of the staff and faculty. It's so important for the beginning of your journey at that school to attend orientation. Now, if you have any questions on orientation or tips for individuals going to orientation, please leave those in the comments below. And I do post new videos on this channel every Monday, sharing with you all the knowledge I learned throughout my 12-year career working at multiple college campuses across the country. So make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can always get my new videos. I hope you all are having a wonderful day and staying healthy. I'll see you soon.